Hey, this is Matt once again. What about to another video? There's another paid request, this time for Lucas. Thank you for your generosity as well as everybody else. Sorry, Lucas, if this took a while to get done, and I apologize. And for those interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos, topics, reactions, commentaries, re-reviews, reviews, again, list ranking, video game, pretty much anything, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. So Lucas wanted me to do a commentary on a Ninja Turtle 2003 episode, which is this cartoon here, personal favorite of mine, and it's called Lone Raph and Cub. So I have a pause at the beginning. You may be able to find this on YouTube because this is unofficial. I got this from someone, but it works perfectly fine. But sadly, it's hard to get this officially because Nickelodeon doesn't want to do anything with this show for some reason. So here we go. I'm paused at the beginning, and then you may be able to find this on YouTube. 3, 2, 1, pressing play. We have the opening that a lot of the episode 2003 did, where we're right in the middle of action. We have a character narrating, and we'll come back to this point later on in the episode. Pretty much give the audience a taste of what's to come, where Raphael's protecting this kid. Although this kid named Tyler, which he didn't appear too many times throughout the show, thankfully. I love Raphael. I love his caricature on the show, his attitude. I think the voice actor did a good job. I like that a lot of times. He is a badass. He's a tough guy. He's protective. He's saving his brothers. He does well in the fight scenes. He doesn't feel like a loser. Actually, this version takes out the intro, so that actually works out well. So if you skip the intro, so this is the version I watch with the. If you watch it with the intro, I'm at the point where Raphael's now doing this, and now he's looking back. He's getting more mad, and now he's on this training deal more so. This is after Splinter has disappeared after their fight with the Shredder. We found out later on that Splinter has been taken to be healed by these characters named the Utroms. And that's a whole other ball game that leads to later on into the season. But this is I think the second Raphael episode, because the first one was Meet Casey Jones, where Raphael almost hits Mikey with a pipe. He has anger issues. He runs off. He meets Casey Jones. That was a good episode. This I still like. And pretty understanding for Leo to let him to go out. I thought that was a nice little brotherly attitude to take, so that Leo doesn't feel so much like a dick. I said Leo doesn't seem like much of a dick in this show compared to like the 2007 CGI movie where people ask, why is he dick? Well, that's a whole other conversation. But really commend the artists who did this show. A lot of great work with shadow and using the nighttime to its advantage to make it look like dangerous streets. The way when action scenes happen, there's a little bit of anime influence, and like I said, the color scheme, the darkness, the stealth. If they feel like ninjas, they keep into shadows. And it's hard to do that type of stuff without it being laughable. There's a guy screaming into the heavens, but I think the voice actor who played Raphael accomplished that pretty well. Anyway, it kind of reminds me of the 1990 movie. In the 1990 movie, you have a turtle screaming to the heavens. It was supposed to be Michelangelo, because if you look closely, it's nunchucks to the side. Because in the original script for the 1990 movie, and if you look at the comic book adaptation of that said movie, you'll see that Michelangelo, he like trashes the barn, he can't keep his smile, he can't keep his laughter, just their dad is missing, his brother Raph is in a coma, so he's all pissed off. They cut all that out. And so when he's supposed to be yelling, they put in Raph's voice in there. But again, if you look closely, you see nunchucks. So I don't know why they took all that out. But again, in the finished product, it sounds like Raphael yelling to it. That's what it kind of reminded me of. Never gave a crap about Tyler. I mean, I like this episode because of Raphael and some of the, it shows that once again he's got a good heart, he's got a protective nature to him. Yeah, again, has some fun fight scenes. Like I said, I appreciate the animation. As I said before, the first time I saw this was back when it debuted. I was away from the Ninja Turtles whole fandom for the longest time because the mid to late 90s, it was a dead zone for these characters. I mean, maybe there's some comic book stuff. Other than that, it was just the Next Mutation, the live-action show by Saban and the Power Ranger makers. Like, that's all you had. And getting good fight scenes here, showing this guy kicking ass, which is great to see. And yeah, nice to see him with the power and steel. Again, always nice to see. That's what maybe some anime, like the way the camera, the up and down the screen just shifts, so it's just this much showing. Again, almost like a little bit of anime influence. And it's still a kid's show, but there's still a little bit of, much more of an action-driven feel to it compared to the 80s to 90s cartoon. Again, nice moves there. Love that bit with the door. Very slick. Him taking these guys out pretty quickly with great finesse. Well, I love this stuff here. Like this, I love this whole sequence. Nicely done. Doesn't make the character whip out. It's not just total jokes. Like the 2012 cartoon had serious moments, to be fair, but a lot of times it just went so goofball or so being nostalgia for the 80s cartoon. It just, sometimes I didn't, it's like that show didn't know what it wanted to be. It wants to homage the 90s cartoon, I mean the 80s 90s cartoon, but then it wants to be goofy. Then it wants to have about killer pizza monsters, but then it wants to have Splinter dying. It like does this ping pong effect. And while this is a kid's show for the most part, it's an action-driven show. It felt like, for the most part, the tone in this was more consistent. And the 80s 90s cartoon was more consistent as a comedy show. And, you know, it worked for that time. It's what got me and many others into those characters. But as I grew up, I'm more leaning towards this tone. I hate this little kid. Should punch him back. Okay, any kid, there you go, stop him. He's punched you 3 times now. I do like that line said before. That's 3, you know, that's 0-3. Hey. Believe me, hey, this don't change, you keep it up. Should fucking power drive that kid, slam his stupid cap. And I know a thing about caps. That's a stupid looking cap, right into his damn neck and down his throat, little twerp. Just a little twerp. I mean, with standalone, like Leonardo, season 4, he was able to get a nice big arc. We said like should have been more Raphael's type of arc, because he's like going out of control with anger, and he's sent away to train to be calmer. And then it seems like it should be Raphael's turf, but they give it to Leonardo, which, I mean, he's the leader, so they give him something. And then Donatello, I think, got the best episode, or close to it, at least the most notable episode that people think of as same as it never was. Mighty got to win the Battle Nexus, this big old tournament. I mean, damn, Raphael didn't really get to do anything big. He's kind of in the background, but there's a lot of good moments of it, again, helping his family, helping Leo build his sword and get his confidence back after he got in a coma, saving Mighty, saving Don, helping out. I just sort of his role as protector. So at least, again, respect. At least I feel the respect with the characters in this show. But I wish he had like a big arc or a big, But I think we all wish that for all of our favorite characters. We're all greedy for our favorite characters to get as good of a treatment as possible. As selfish as that may be. And this little twerp here, just choke slam him. And again, that's my big nitpick on it. I don't... Of course, that's the show on TV is the Lone Wolf and Cub. Kind of what you would see back in the day. There was a film called Shogun Assassin, which they took a couple films from overseas and they merged a couple of them together. And then in the U.S. it was shown as Shogun Assassin, the dad, and he's got the little kid, and but it is like the Lone Wolf and Cub series. Father and his little kid, just going off to their very bloody, deadly adventures. But yeah, in the U.S., like a notable film, like I said, is Shogun Assassin. Like it's about, I don't know if it's the second or third. I forget which ones. I think it's two of them, maybe more combined together. Shogun Assassin is fun. I mean, it may not, because of its editing, have much of a story, but if you like bloody, action, Shogun Assassin is definitely worth a look. It has a really good score as well. Fuck Tyler. Fuck this Jagoff. I don't like this kid. That's what I was going to say. He's whiny. He's bratty. He's whiny. He's bratty. Fucking crybaby. Goddamn crybaby. Yeah, so you're wasting my fucking time. I'm trying to find my dad and you got out of my fucking way, kid. Shove his side through his eyeball. But that would be my movie, but they would not do that. I mean, other than Tyler, the only other nitpick is... I always thought the music in the show was a bit not the best. But yeah, there's some nice kick-ass action. Raphael did a lot of good moments to shine, showing he's a badass. And this is where he gets blinded. That's sort of the turning point of the episode. Sort of the big... I mean, I guess, again, they show him just how good he is against these guys, but now he's got to do it blind, so that gives a bit of a uphill battle for our main character. What do you do when you're blind? But that's why it would have been nice if hey, he's the big tough guy, take care of a little kid. I guess it makes more sense here than Ninja Turtles 3, with why the kid will look up to Raphael, because Raphael didn't do shit with that kid in Ninja Turtles 3, and then the kid's like, oh, I want to hang out with you. I'm like, why? Mighty saved you from the fire. Leo gave you CPR, but, like, you stick to Raphael. But pretty much this kid has to be his eyes and ears. I don't know, something about that bugs me. I don't know, it just reminds me of... It was done funny in See No Evil, Hear No Evil when Gene Wilder's doing it for Richard Pryor. But yeah, that's a comedy, and I'm having fun with that. The fact that Raph has to depend on this little twerp annoying kid that wants shit in his fucking baseball cap. But yeah. it's a good Raphael episode for the Raphael character. It's just that, yeah, this kid annoys the piss out of me. I mean, it's like, I don't give a fuck about Danny in the 1990 movie. I don't give a fuck about Tyler. Tino I liked in the second Secret of the Ooze, but I don't give a fuck about Tyler or Danny. No, the shit. At least the kids help him, not just trying to turn him in or being more of a twerp. Like, okay, if it had it where the kid is helping him for a bit, and then, okay, the kid gets tied up, and then Raph's getting beaten up, but then just have a flashback, like as a kid, like having to learn from Splinter all the teachings that they. I guarantee you, Splinter gave a teaching about fight with your eyes closed with bandana. He'd have a flashback of it, remember a few things, and work around it, and he still had Tyler help him find the place, help him to begin with, but then, you know, Raph picks himself up, and I guess I just would have preferred that. Like, have the kid help at first, and then he gets muffled. Just give Raph a flashback to when he was a kid and Splinter giving him lessons and teachings. I mean, if he's looking for his dad, he's thinking about his dad. He's thinking about Splinter. He just said, I'm looking for my dad. Which was nice that he called him dad. Because, you know, usually they say sensei or master, but, you know, the fact he called him dad was nice. But just, he's thinking of his dad. Flashback, Splinter teaching, boom, kick some ass, sir. And there you go. And he kicks all of these guys' ass like he was Blind Fury. You know, the Rutger Hauer film. Like that, okay, yeah, Blind Fury is a perfect example. That had a little kid. And turn a little bit of Blind Fury at the end. Obviously, you can't have the killing like Blind Fury did, but get Bruce Lee, he's dead. We'll get his brother. That was a nice detail, the foot-shaped, the turtle-shaped footprint on the guy's chest. Another one on his back, and it's still there, but consistency. That's nice. So, like, the kid gets muffled here, and Raph's going to get beaten up for a bit, but now he gets knocked back, and he flashback, and boom, boom, boom. Like I said before. And man, this went quick. We only got like 3 minutes left. Jesus, like, I mean, it went by quick. I'll say that. But I guess maybe they just wanted this to give Tyler to shine, and you know, he did something heroic and helped him, and I mean, still some really nice, you know, haymakers and kicks. So still some nice moments. Good repeating, almost like a Van Damme, like, bah, 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 you know. But here it's like it's like, okay, we got like 2 minutes left of the episode. Just just push these boxes. But I know around this time he gets his eyes back. I'm trying to remember what other Raph-centric episodes there were. Oh yeah, when Donnie went to the alternate future, Raph had the worst one, where he's like on another planet and there's like a motorcycle race thing. That was the worst one. That was lame. I'm like, you can't give Raphael like a better story than that. Come on now. I don't know who the script writers for that, but I could come, as shitty as I am, I could come up with a better story for Raphael on that. But how about a world where Raphael's the bad guy, and like he's like Raphael's the Shredder. It's like kind of like Donnie, but it's present time, and it's where I don't know, or the Turtles are the bad guys, and Raphael has to fight those brothers and defeat them. And it's, there you go, have the Turtles be the villains, and Raphael has to fight them, and it's like he doesn't want to hurt them, even though he's always been angry at them, and but then he has to because I mean, I don't know, that'd be probably too dark. That's a nice one. Raphael gets his revenge on that twerp, whipping his ass. I mean, Tyler, he did show up a couple more times, but not too much. It's not like he became a bit. It wasn't like he was Carter in that last season of Ninja Turtles, the '80s cartoon. But like I said, not a fan of the kid, but Raphael has a lot of good badass moments, a lot of good fight moments. So I would say he was better than I remember. Actually, this is better than I remember. I forgot like all the cool moments. Like this is a nice, great shot, going off into the distance with the moon. Again, that's a good moment. A lot of good looking shots. As I said, the animation and people like Lloyd Goldfine and Gary Richardson, Frederick U. Fierst. These are development and executive producers. The animators. Again, I love the designs of the turtles. I love they had the right voice cast. I think all 4 turtles did a great job voicing them. Fuck Tyler, idiot. But other than that, yeah, like I said, this was better than I remember. It's not as bad as I remember. I would say this is still a good, solid one. Still a good, solid episode. Like I said, other than those tweets that I repeat like 3-4 times now. And like I said, I did love this show. I mean, I do think the first 4 seasons are the best. The Ninja Tribunal, I was not a fan of. I was never a fan of that. What did they have after? Because that was technically 5. And there were 7 seasons, right? 7. I always get my things mixed up. Yeah, I believe there were 7 seasons. Yeah, I always get things mixed up. I don't know why. Yeah, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 7. That was 5. A lot of people hate Fast Forward. I can understand, but I can watch it for fun. Like, it's definitely more of a kid's show during that time. But because I grew to like these characters and their voices, and I like the first 4 seasons, I kind of like the future aspect. I like within the future aspect what different ideas you could do. And there was some like decent amount of fun family moments I got out of it, like Mikey making this puppet to piss off Raphael. I thought that was a nice. I forget which episode that is, but I thought that was a nice moment. But yeah, how do I put it? I didn't mind that as much as others, but the animation had gone downhill, sadly. It was not as strong as the first 4 seasons. Like, the color scheme seemed lighter and not nearly darker and atmospheric. And the animation, like I said, was a step down. And then Back to the Sewers, it still like had that type of few steps down of animation. But then like they try to go back to what they were doing in the first 4 seasons, but they didn't quite. I like to still watch it. Like, the only season I truly don't like is the Ninja Tribunal stuff. Season 6 and 7 I can watch, but they're not as good as the first 4. And I do like Turtles Forever. I know a lot of people don't. I do like Turtles Forever. But with that said, sorry, I'm running like a motor mouth now. Thanks for watching. Thank you once again. Lucas, I really appreciate it. And we will see you guys later. Bye-bye.